When orchestration AI comes out, and I'm going to predict by the end of 2025 it's going to be here, it will completely change everything. So imagine in a business setting, you'll just put an AI onto all of the data within your company, all your emails, all your files, everything. It'll just work out the entire thing of what your company is meant to be doing and has been doing, and we'll just start automating very large chunks of it and giving previously unimaginable innovation and competitive advantage and cost reductions. So all of that's going to happen, I think, by the end of 2025. But where are we at the moment? We're in this kind of holding pattern. So AI is still moving exponentially fast. That's still continuing. So every single week you're seeing these new breakthroughs. The strength of the underlying models between the Americans and the Chinese keep on coming up with things that are breaking through the leaderboards. Remember there was Grok 4 did it recently, and we're still waiting for GPT-5, how much further that goes. But it's kind of frustratingly short of where it could be. I mean, it's not a big technological jump for AI super agents like Manus that are already taking on entire tasks on a repetitive way and are amazingly powerful. Just to have those in conjunction being coordinated by like a master coordinating building AI. Now, it is possible to do this with open source and with a number of things that are kind of manually bolted together, but it's not easy. And my view of AI is if it isn't easy and quick, just wait. So we're in this waiting pattern at the moment. We have the first twitches of this orchestration level AI coming in. So we have things like Warmwind, Smith OS, Vercept. And Vercept, I mean, I had a very good look at it last week and was wondering, should I download it onto my computer? But I had some use cases in mind, and it couldn't really do. I mean, it would have been useful, but I don't want to fiddle with something that's halfway there. And all of these AI orchestration companies, they're startups, and I'm still hesitant to throw my lot in with a startup. So again, where is Microsoft in all of this? Microsoft has been the business leader in operating systems for decades, and I just don't see any activity really sensible in a consumer easy AI operating system that can do this orchestration layer from them. Google, yeah, they're getting a bit closer. Amazon's trying as well. But I'm still waiting for this big breakthrough that will happen at some point. So, what will happen when this does occur? Now, there's always a big gap between what is possible with technology and what companies do with technology, and that is growing exponentially wider. But there'll be a real step change when easy orchestration level AI is available for companies. So at that point, there's no excuse whatsoever for management to say, oh, it's going to be a slow project, it's going to be complicated, it'll take resources. No, you just basically plug in an AI, and within an hour or so, it's probably worked out how to automate your entire company, and probably at a very low cost point. So then there's no excuse. But we know that the main sticking point is human psychology, organizational inertia, fear, those kinds of things. So most companies won't do it, even though it is possible. But then you're going to get a little bit of a snowball effect where a few companies, typically smaller companies, are going to be a little braver, are going to jump into this first and start putting pricing pressure on the market. You'll see the jobs market changing from this as well. I mean, you're already hearing kind of anecdotally almost about that it's difficult for young people to find work. I've certainly seen some things even here in Vietnam, which is a robust, growing jobs market. Some people really struggling who wouldn't normally have struggled to find work. In things like marketing, I'm seeing this. So, what happens at the end of 2025 when this is possible? I think you're going to see the first firstly, the technical ability for it to happen, then companies starting to increasingly implement it. And this will be typically a CEO, an owner of a company will start using it personally, and then there's no excuse for the rest of the organization. Going into 2026, which is not far off, things start looking really weird. You hear people talking about post-labor economics and everything like that. It's not going to be like a science fiction dramatic, I don't think, but it's certainly going to be economically disruptive with very clear winners and losers out of it. It's a massive opportunity for some people, but also a massive risk for others. So those are bridges we'll cross when we get to them. But firstly, we just have to think about, how quickly is this easy orchestration AI going to come along? Again, I'm still thinking by the end of this year. And what are we going to do about that? So, kind of one step at a time. It's the future is fuzzy, and it's difficult to both predict and respond to in long-term strategy. So, in the absence of that, I think it's think about what would your company do if orchestration AI was easy, and what impact that would have. I'd be interested to see, more people trying these early versions like Warm Wind, like Smith OS, like Vercept. But again, I didn't do that myself. I was tempted, but then I didn't download it. It just looked too fiddly for real results. Something like Manus, I do go for as a super agent because I've got very clear use cases for my own business and for the companies I go into. That's easy. You just talk to it. I need my orchestration level AI just where I can talk to it, basically. So my rule on AI, if it isn't easy and immediate and very beneficial, just wait.